Thank you for listening to Two Talking Arseholes. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and may deal with adult topics and adult themes. Because we don't want to talk about the WAR, but which is the Women's Institute, but we could talk about days of the week. Which is your best day? Monday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
My best day.
Out of Monday, Thursday, Saturday or Sunday, what is your best day? Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Talking to Our Souls, and this is probably the most interesting thing you'll hear. What is your best day?
Probably Saturday.
Brownstown, we're with you when you fight. Brownstown, bark with the dogs tonight. Brownstown, Cleveland is right behind you.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever day or whatever time it is you're listening to this wonderful podcast. This is our bank holiday special, and I say bank holiday because it is the 2nd day of May 2020 with me, Steve Henn, and over there we have
Mr. Singh.
He's counting down the days. So this is a bit more of a highlights package, isn't it, Av, where we talk about different things over the last few weeks?
Yes.
Shall I tell you a sad story?
How sad is
It's
it?
about a dog, though. It's about a dog.
Oh,
And
you like about dog.
You like story dogs, do you? It's just, and your story made me cry, so I'll try and make you cry. Yeah, my sister had a dog, and it was a nice dog, and it was a young dog, but it had bone cancer, so they had to put it down. And my sister said her husband, before he took it to the vet, he opened every tin of dog food in the house and let the dog eat as much as he wants, and then took it for the longest walk, and then took it to the vets and had it put down. But I don't know what the connection with Lent is, but I think that's a good thing, is what I'm saying. I think that was, he was doing that to give the dog a nice time before he said goodbye. And I'm thinking that's why Shrove Day Tuesday.
I thought you would have liked to probably took it down to find another lady dog, maybe.
You haven't got a dog, have you?
Not anymore.
I'm a horrible person. No. But, right, if you had a dog, right, and you're walking it out in the field and this other man came up, or a woman, let's say a woman, she came up and she said, will your dog, can your dog do my dog? Right, that's never going to happen. If anyone came up to you and said, I want my dog to do your dog.
I mean, one, the reason why he spent 2 hours walking it because trying to find another lady dog. But the other
but it's not the dog they didn't have a thing called Grinder. Oh,
no,
shit,
but I was thinking, well, I mean, you wouldn't do it that way. You would try and find some. You ring around, look in the papers. Everyone dog breeders looking for the lady dogs to, get puppies. I'm not saying that spur of the moment thing. Say to his dog, let's get your leg over, before you go. Yeah.
And the dog goes up to this first lady dog and goes, "Oh, I'd love to puppy you." Did you not say that? I'd love to babby you. That's a quaint English expression from the Midlands.
Okay.
I'd love to puppy you. In fact, he wouldn't say that. He'd go, "Ow, ow, 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 ow." I'm doing dog impressions, Av.
Ow,
ow, ow.
I've not heard that expression before.
So we talked about that, didn't we? Which was quite good. And what was the next thing we talked about?
Well, we can talk about fairies.
Who?
Fairies.
Fairies? Oh, ferries?
Yeah.
Across the channel?
Oh, yeah.
With Pitty.
P-N-O. Hey.
Oh, those ferries? No. Is that what you're talking about? Ferries?
Yeah.
I thought I actually didn't think he was saying fairies. And I thought we'd done Gove, allegedly. I think there's only one word I can talk about fairies, but go on.
No, just it was shocking, wasn't it? That they sacked. How many people they sacked? Was it 800?
I think 3 or 4.
Eh?
3 or 4.
And the rest.
Yeah. 80,000, did they say? I don't know.
800 was it 800 staff. Apparently, the way they looked at it is that they don't have to follow working legislation because that comes under maritime law. So they got rid of all these people who've been there for years earning a good wage, and they bring in foreign workers and they don't have to follow the minimum wage.
So, Peter Patel stopped people coming over from other countries across the channel, and she was saying that maritime laws should be changed. So everyone says, "Oh, maritime laws. Let's have a look at maritime laws." So they looked at the maritime laws, and they read, "Oh, Peter Patel, you're very clever. So we don't have to do this." And so they've sacked all the English people that were trying to keep the foreigners out, and given the jobs to the foreigners that have come over without a ferry to work on a ferry.
It's agency workers. They're agency workers, but they're not offering. Obviously, the agencies must be from foreign countries, but then
Okay.
it's not going to be minimum wage. These jobs, because it doesn't come under the British law.
Do you reckon it reeks of Ratner's? Ratner's, for those of you who probably don't know, it was like George. Was it George Ratner? He said he had a jewelry chain. Said his jewelry was crap, and no one bought it after that. And do you think people will go on to P&O ferries in 2 years, 3 years time? If they're cheaper, they will, won't they?
Well,
So I remember I did cross the. I think it was the other firm that I crossed the channel on, and I really wanted a wee, but you had to pay. You had to pay 50p to get in the toilets on the boat.
why not just go over the side and see?
Well, that's it. And I said to him, look, mate, I really need a wee. I said, look, can I just go in and I'll give you the money, later? And he goes, who do you think we are? P&O? So we talked about that, didn't we? Which is quite good. And what was the next thing we talked about?
We've talked about Boris a few times. We've talked about Rwanda. But we've got to find out, moving forward, who's in charge of France.
Yeah, but that's not this week. That'll be because this is the highlights package. So really, you could have just said this. So what else did we talk about, Av?
This.
You can't have a Ukrainian in your house if you don't pass the checks if you've been a criminal, right? Nobody in the fucking cabinet, Johnson, Patel, Hunt, Raab, would get a look in because they would never pass the criminal checks.
Do you know what? Maybe I shouldn't laugh, but
Go on, then.
Michael Gove. That's Michael Gove. Would you take? Are you going to take someone? Are you going to take somebody? He goes, well, I'll just moved out to my house. His missus divorced him. He's going through a divorce, isn't he?
After going to a disco.
Be married to Michael Gove. Oh my God.
No, that's the thing. When you said married, I thought Michael Gove.
I didn't even know he was married. I was thinking,
And it's not that, and it's not because we think he may be gay. It's because we think he's weird. Why would you marry that?
I'm saying it don't matter what gender you are.
No,
you
that's what I
want
mean. But if he was married to a woman, then you'd probably think he was into women rather than like the reason why he wasn't married would be because he doesn't like women, right? If he wasn't married to a woman, I mean, right? You said she was a woman. Don't make me dig holes, right? But it's not because of his sexuality. It's because he's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo, and no one would want to live with him. That's what we think. Not that it's a gender sexual thing. It's because he's a weirdo. And they say, well, no, of course he can't be married.
I'm just trying to. You're right in the respects of if you're Ukrainian, you're just happy to get away from what's happening, don't you? So you wouldn't be too bothered. But obviously, if you had a choice, you would. If you had like a lineup of people and you knew about them, he's probably the one you think, no, I don't want to go to his dance.
It's like when you're at school and you're being picked for football, and then I'll have you. I'm not having you. And I was always the last one in goals.
Nah, we're not. You're okay, Golby.
Yeah,
Kick him in the nuts.
that's it. God, what a
Yeah, but-
choice! You could go live with Rob Hunt, Williamson, or Gove. Who would you choose?
Probably Williamson, because you can kick him around, couldn't you?
But that's what all the Ukrainians would say Williamson because, oh yeah, he's told Russia to go away, so obviously he's a decent bloke.
Is he going to be called a? You have to call him sir. That would go to his head, wouldn't it? I know. Boris tried to get a few into his house.
No,
but,
he didn't.
He did.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't.
he did.
He didn't want the wallpaper ruined.
I told you, he's trying to get his leg over a few more people.
For those of you who don't know what the word leg over means,
That's too graphic, Lex. I'm not going to just describe what you just did there.
you can watch it on Talking to Our Souls.
Well, we can talk about that. We talk about Boris. Yeah, he went to Saudi, did he? Went to Saudi Arabia to get some more oil.
He went to Saudi to say, Audi,
Yeah,
release
And they
the
said-
barrels.
said no.
Uh-huh. Oh, but that's the thing with Iran. When he's now paid the money to let that poor woman out, that's all to do with oil. It's got nothing to do with the fact that he thinks, oh, you know
No,
what?
It was the
And
tanks.
Liz Truss is getting the plaudits for that, and I'm not going to give Liz Truss any plaudits, but I will for that.
The British owed him 400 million
Yeah,
from
tanks.
tanks. I was like, what? I was like, is that all the tanks you get?
In 2 weeks' time, they'll say, "Oh, can we have some of your oil?" They say, "Oh yeah, we're best mates now." Get Gavin over. Gavin will sort it out for you. Sir Gavin.
Apparently, Biden called the prince. Was it? Is he prince or king? He's king now, isn't he? I thought he's king.
King Boris.
No, well, he bloody wishes. So, now
King Boris.
Saudi, Biden rang him apparently, and he refused to take his call.
Is that because of
Because,
Trump? Or Putin?
because he was critical of the
the murdering
journalist that was
regime.
murdered.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, they stone people. They actually cut 180 people's heads off on Sunday.
I think before Boris came, there's like executed 86 people, 80 odd people. Then on the way out, he executed a few more. Just like,
And Boris was going,
my
"Is it me?
God.
Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Is it after me?"
But- I have got you something to say, Mr. Boris. The oil? No, it's a blood.
It's what?
Blood.
Blad?
It is a blood.
Oh, a blade.
Blood.
A blad. I thought he was saying blood. I thought he wants his
Boris goes,
blood.
Oh, I've got a liquid I would like to show you.
Sperm? Sperm?
Whoa,
Are you
whoa,
going
whoa,
from?
whoa.
Are you going from blad?
No.
Blad? To I've got some liquid I'd like to show you.
That's terrible. I wasn't even thinking that, Steve. Where are you going with
Well,
this?
what liquid were you thinking of then?
Pen ink?
Boris Johnson, well known for spurting his pen ink everywhere.
Terrible, Steve. I'm trying to keep this show on the straight and narrow. Where are you taking it?
Oh, God. Yeah, there's always someone walking behind Boris with a blotting pad. Oh, be careful, Boris, sir. We don't want you to spill more ink. I've heard that. I've heard that in all the newspapers. Oh, look at that splodge on the desk. Boris Johnson in his fountain pen. I've meant
Well, he
spunk.
looks like the kind of... I mean, at school, you always had the one lad who put his pen inside the inside pocket where it always gets too warm
Aye.
and the ink spills out. And he never learns. That's the kind of impression I get from Boris. He's that kid.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. But then I don't think it's Boris doesn't learn. He just doesn't care.
No.
I just don't think he cares.
I don't think he's a person to go around asking for stuff either. He just hasn't got the authority, has he?
There's a beautiful clip during the election campaign where he's coming out of giving a speech, and they're two very young, I'm going to call them aides, I don't know what you call them, helpers that look after him, like write his speeches, make sure he does this and that. And they're very young, they look like YTS people, and he's talking to a reporter with a cup of coffee. Now, either he shouldn't be drinking the coffee, or the coffee got a label on for an advert. I don't know what it is. But this young girl just runs up to him while he's talking and hefts his cup of coffee out of his hand while he's drinking it, and like gives him a look and says no, and then takes the coffee cup out of his hand. It's hilarious. It's like he has no idea why she's done it, but she obviously did it for a reason, because he cannot be trusted either for advertising it, or he shouldn't have been drinking that coffee.
It would have been funny if he'd yabbed out his hand and then he didn't realise. He just started drinking. Without realising, this coffee's gonna taste.
When you say like, and he's drinking it and he doesn't realise the coffee cup's gone, I wonder if he'll do that when the country and he's talking. He said, "Oh, there's no country left. Is that my fault?"
31st of March is when the clocks go back. Forward.
No. Fall forward, spring back. Always the way.
Back. Yeah, it's going back.
Yeah, fall forward. Spring
don't
back.
Go American. Don't go American.
No, but that's what they say, isn't it? They say fall forward, spring back. So the clocks go back. Spring back.
Autumn, forward, spring back.
Spring back. So you get an extra hour in bed with your missus.
No, autumn. Yeah. I get me confused.
Yeah, no. Fall forward, spring back. Fall forward, spring back. Fall forward, spring back.
I'm losing the
will to live. A lot of people have that problem with me.
No, my thinking. I've gone slower. Again,
yes.
My wife would probably said that I've always been like that. But,
it's when your children say it. That's when you're going to worry.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But yeah. No, so I don't even. When's the grouse season then?
The what?
The grouse season. When does the grouse season start?
The grouse season.
Oh, come on, Av. You want to be English?
As in the bird?
Yeah. So the grouse season actually is the 12th of August.
You know, in Wolverhampton, there's not, you don't see much grouse around here.
Where you going? I'm going grouse shooting. Where you going? Wolverhampton.
Grey squirrels, perhaps, but not grouse.
Yeah, all these dates in my head, but I thought the 21st of March. Oh, it's my fucking wedding anniversary.
Sorry. I was going to say, the only grouse around here, around Wolverhampton, is a famous grouse, with all the Asian people getting pissed. But
are you talking about the grouse whiskey?
Yeah, famous grouse.
The famous grouse. We like a bit of grouse whiskey.
It's your anniversary, Steve.
No, I just said that to be funny. I haven't been married for years.
Nothing funny about an anniversary, especially when you forget it.
That's true. That is very true. So I've got some nice nieces and some not so nice nieces, and I was with the nice nieces and my sister, and they're all born in July, and we're sitting down, and this is like they're all like over 20s now. They're like, well, they're over nearly, well, some are 40, but like. When they told this story, they were in their late 20s because we were having some sort of family meal. And they're sitting down and they were going, Mum, we were all sitting down chatting the other day. We worked it out that we were all born 9 months after Dad's birthday. And I thought it was hilarious, because they all sat down at some point and discussed it and then worked out what it was and then brought it up in front of their mum at a family meeting. Meal.
Yeah,
I just find it hilarious.
I think there's probably a better way of probably approaching it. It'd probably just be best to say, what's with all the birthday sex?
If you're in a relationship, when I was in a relationship, I got spoiled on my birthday.
Okay. Right.
I haven't had a birthday for a long time, man.
You talked to the wrong person here, Steve. All of a sudden, I feel like maybe I'll become a Jehovah's Witness and not celebrate it anymore.
Best birthday present you've had?
What's the best birthday present I ever had? God, that's a question.
Or the most memorable? It doesn't have to be the best. It could be the most memorable.
I don't really celebrate my birthday. Not because I'm
You've had 50, haven't you?
Fuck off. Have a cake. We get a cake. So you celebrate birthday, have a cake. I don't really want.
Do you have a handmade cake, or is it bought from a shop? Is it George the Caterpillar, whatever his name is?
Maybe we talked about this before. There's an egg-free cake place. We get it from there.
Is it called Enough?
No.
That's French for it. That's French for egg. That was quite.
It's what?
Enough. Enough is a French for egg.
Steve, I'm in Wolverhampton. Does that mean you many French people around here?
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed the packaged show of little clips of stuff that you've not seen before. Did you enjoy it, Av?
Yeah.
Thanks, Av.
Cleveland is right behind you.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and share this because it will help us. And don't forget to tune in next week, 8 p.m. Mondays. Ta-ra! So